Well, I don't have any that are that fresh, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you can just use makeup, but it'll sort of rub off like, my hands are all wet, but the Superman one that I have here is just done with makeup, and there are spots where it's sort of coming off and needs to be reapplied. They suggest that what you use is, I forget the name of the product. So basically you put makeup on, you put some kind of oil on, and then you put more makeup on, and then you powder it. I'm going to cover your mouth now. All good? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, you sort of want to, yeah, you want to try and sort of get it into the folds of all the features. And again, if all we're doing is making a forehead, the details of the shape of his his mouth and the tip of his nose don't really matter that much. But I find that it is, when you're actually in the sculpting process, it's easier to sort of envision what it's ultimately going to look like if the rest of his face looks like him. So even if the sculpt only comes down to the level of his eyebrows, having his face under it while you're working makes it easier to see what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, let's sort of cover over the eyebrows a little bit. And can I have like sort of half, like cut in half that way? Yeah. So yeah, once we sort of get to his actual facial features, it's easier to work with some smaller pieces. Because I want to sort of make sure that it follows all the contours, gets into under his eyes and so on. Thank you. It's easier to sort of work with one eye at a time here. And once I've got one layer sort of all carefully worked into, the various contours of his face, the reinforcing layer that goes over the top, thank you, Gordon. Yeah, after this, the reinforcing layer that goes over the top of this can be done much more quickly because it's just slap it right on over the original layer. And as I said, if I take this off of his face and it needs to be reinforced further, we can always do that at a later date. What I'm going to do, and I'll show you, like when we actually get to that point, I'll show you if we have time. At this point, I'm not sure. Is if you take this off of his face and you hold it up to the light, if you can see light through the cast, that's too thin. You shouldn't be able to see any light through it. So any spots that the light shows through are spots that are going to need to be reinforced.
It's 305.
305. Okay. Keep going. The part about getting it off of him may sort of overlap the next panel a little bit, so we'll try and do what we can. Does anybody actually have a program book? Can someone check if there's anything else in this room after this?
Yes, there is.
There is something? Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
That's, well, we're just a little behind schedule, so I'm hoping we can...
Unfortunately, I have to wrap this up.
Like right this second?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
scheduled till 3:15.
Sorry?
He's scheduled till 3:15.
Oh, it's scheduled till 3:05. All panels run 50 minutes, not an hour.
Oh.
So we need time to clean up things.
What's the next panel coming in?
Up.
Little strips.
It's a Wrath-Con script reading. And, well, in theory, they might not mind starting a couple minutes later. There's a panel immediately after them as well.
Okay. I can totally clean up while they're starting.
Curse you, God.
Okay.
Yeah, it was there. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like being the bad guy and putting an end to things, but
It's okay.
perfect.
All right.
Exactly. Did you volunteer?
Sorry?
Did you volunteer for this?
Once upon a time.
So hopefully once we pull this off, it'll be solid enough to actually use. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very, very much.